Hello, welcome back to the pack. Woo!
Woo!
So this is Pack of Two Animations. This is our part 2 video. The first video we did, I showed my sister Gloss like 3 or 4 like videos, animations I found. Definitely check out that video. And we wanted to not only just consume content, we want to create content. So based off the videos that we saw on the last video, we made like a little challenge and we're gonna try to animate it. And we wrote down like a list of parameters for this little animation. You know, we're only gonna do it in like a couple of hours. We're just gonna try to see what we can make.
We got this new rig. It's a proxy. It's what's the company that owns these rigs called again?
I don't know. I don't remember. We got it from Gumroad. I'll definitely put up in the video like where we got it from so that you guys can see where exactly we got it from and the name of the rig. This is like the free version of it. It's just like the basics. It doesn't have any face. It's a really good rig. But it's pretty basic. And
we did it on purpose.
Yeah, we did it on purpose because we don't really, want to do a face right now because these are just small challenges and we're not the fastest animators. This is also a challenge for us to get better at animating because we really like it and we think it's fun. So we're just the rules basically for this one is based off the last videos, we noticed a lot of camera work. So we wanted to do something in this little short animation challenge that involves the camera moving in some kind of way. So we're doing some POV camera shot. I decided to do like a fly like kind of annoying someone. So this character that I have is going to be like doing the dishes, minding her business, and then a fly is going to come and try to annoy her, and then she's going to just swat away once, and then that's really it. Hopefully that's not too much to do in just a couple of hours, but I don't know.
Yeah, we tried to do shots that were pretty simple. They had like a little bit of action, but then obviously they had the camera work. My shot is gonna be a girl, her phone fell on the floor and she's looking for it, and then she's like, oh, it's on the floor, and then when she goes to grab it, she like accidentally like goes too far and falls, and then she kind of like lands on the phone.
And we just wanted some kind of action, so her falling, me swatting a fly. And I'm really excited to like, do this challenge. We got like 2 or 3 hours to kill. So we're just gonna yap while animating. So I think we can get started and start yapping.
Yep, let's get started. What is it, 2 o'clock on the dot?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's start.
So what are you gonna tackle first? I think I'm gonna animate the girl like doing her little action first, and then let me turn on the lighting for this. Maybe doing her action first and then doing the camera.
I think what I'm
movement.
gonna do is do the main key poses first. So I think in my shot, I did my own reference. I'm not gonna put it on the screen because it's kind of corny and I don't know how to act. But in my shot, I have like 3 distinct poses that are like the main poses. So I'm going to do those, and then I'll do the camera shake, because I don't really have much camera movement. It's mostly like a camera shake because of the impact of her falling on the phone. And then I'll do the extremes, and then I'll do the in-betweens, and then I'm also going to stay in spline. I'm not going to be in stepped. I'm just going to raw dog it. Going to go straight ahead. I know if you see on my screen, you're going to see that there's so many controls. I'm not going to try to touch a lot of them. Mostly going to stick with like a couple only, just because if you touch every single control, it can just get so messy so quickly.
Yes. I think that was like when we were first learning animation, that was like the biggest struggle where it's like my instinct was to like, obviously try to figure out like how the motion worked. So like I kept touching every single key, but like you can get a lot of the motion down with only just like a few of the keys. You don't need to touch every single one. And that was something that I just couldn't comprehend because I couldn't see it. Like I just didn't have enough information to know that was true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's another thing about animation. Having someone else look at your work is so crucial, and I suck at it. I suck at doing that because I'm like, I need to figure it out on my own. Like, I don't want to burden someone else. I was like, it's not a burden.
Yeah. I don't know why my brain literally goes immediately to that. It's like a competitive thing almost. I'm like, No, I don't need them yet. It's too early. For some reason, my brain says, like,
Yeah.
why do I care about that? Who cares?
No, that's valid. I honestly feel that way too, because I'm like, oh well, it's not ready yet, and then I won't. And then also
Yes, I say
sometimes
that
I'm
all the
like,
time. I'm not ready yet. What do you mean? When will you be ready? What are we?
ex-
Fucking, are we like fighting crime? What do you mean you're not ready yet?
yeah, that's truly how I feel, because I'm like, oh well, I don't. And sometimes I feel like I need to know what the problem is before I ask someone, because I'm like, oh, I don't know how to explain it, so I'm not gonna go and have someone like come and look at my shit, and they're gonna be like, what's the issue? And I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
Yeah, oh
But
yeah.
honestly, that's what you have to do. That's what
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah. It's like being honest with yourself. It's like too much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's that honesty. It's that honesty of like, you know what? It's okay to someone to know that you don't know what to do next. Like that's okay.
I just like I don't know. It's like I just like I don't know what about it just makes me feel so stubborn. I feel like I'm like a brick wall that doesn't want to, and it's like you have to be fluid. You have to be like constantly going through ideas and trying different things. Like being stubborn is honestly going to get in your way if you're animating. It really is.
Yeah,
Because
it
you
really
have to be
is.
able to like kill the idea and move on and not be so attached to it. And I think that's another issue like I have. Like I get really like I would even say like super attached, but like I just think like, well, this must work. I just don't know how to do it. Let me keep trying. Let me just
Yeah.
try
Yup.
this other thing, and then
Yup.
surely it will work. Where it's like,
Yep.
girl, you need to give it up. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
not for you right now. Or maybe simply admitting like I don't have the skills to know how to do this thing. Or maybe I should like shoot a reference, take a break, shoot a reference, figure out if I actually do know what I'm doing or if it does make sense. Because sometimes it could just be like physically not possible. And what I think is possible is not what's actually possible.
Yeah, that's also another thing. It's like sometimes, like, again, the whole ego thing about it is like, I didn't think I would have such an ego about it, but I really do. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Yeah.
I also forgot to put my arms in IK, and now I have to
Same.
reset the arms.
Yeah, no, I did made one move and was like, ill. Why is this not in the proper thing? Let me change that. I should have said it out
Yeah.
loud so I could have
No,
prompted you to think about it.
no, it's okay. Is this an IK? This rig is still so new to me. I don't know if I did it in IK
Yeah, we
or
should have
not.
properly kind of explored it probably before
All right,
starting.
okay. No, it's okay. We just wanted to start.
Yeah, it's true.
So in my shot, I'm currently at the point where I'm trying to like solidify the key poses, and I'm like trying to like follow the reference but also make it a little bit nicer just so like the poses are like more fun to look at. And I had the struggling of the IKFK right now. I'm also struggling with not getting the character to be this slinky thing where it kind of like opens up within itself, because it is a hollow proxy model.
I think it's okay if it does. Like, as long as you get the motion, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm kind of like realizing. So like I'm just trying to like finish the key poses, and then I can do extremes and in-betweens and get with it and do that.
So true. Is there any like movies that we've like seen or want to talk about, like we want to like do? Like we watched The Wild Robot when it came out, and that movie was so amazing. If you didn't watch it, like get it on streaming, like buy a physical copy. I don't know, just like you need to watch it. It was so beautiful. Like I was like when we went, we were like, oh, we're gonna go because these animators, like we want to support them. I think there was some drama going on.
Yeah, it was the last animated movie that was done in-house for DreamWorks.
Oh,
and that's why
yeah.
I specifically wanted to see it. And you know, the director, he also worked on, I think he worked on Lilo and Stitch.
Yes,
like,
he's
really
the voice actor of
animator.
Stitch. Yes.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's the voice actor of Stitch. He's so cool.
Oh, that's,
And he,
you know, like that's why I wanted to. And like he also did like How to Train Your Dragon and shit like that. So like he's a really amazing animator, and I saw the show and I saw the trailer. And I try not to look at it because trailers nowadays suck.
They do. They ruin everything. I don't want any spoilers. I want to be fully surprised.
Exactly. So like we went to go see it. It was like us and like a couple of family. The theater wasn't even that big, full, which I was sad about because I mean not a lot of people saw it, at least in my area. And we saw it. I didn't know what to expect, and it was so good. It was beautifully done. It was refreshing. Like the story, of course, not the most original. It's, you know, it's about environment, it's about like the animals and like motherhood. So like the themes are very like not the freshest ideas, but the execution of it was so well done. The execution of the story, the voice acting was really good. Like the style that they chose was gorgeous. It was very like an evolved look from the Puss in Boots movie. It was beautiful and it looked original. It was great. It was great.
It was just like there was so many, like the director like had such like beautiful ideas of like how certain shots should look, and it's like when certain shots happened, it was like I made me go, oh my god, because like it was just so well done, so well timed. Like there was a part where like all the goose like flew in to like save the day, and it was like so cool how they executed that shot. It looked so cool, it looked so inspiring. Like it was like I was so hyped. Like they did such a good job, like, you know, creating that emotional response in these emotional moments. And like obviously that's their job, of course that's gonna be, but it's just like the choices they made were so cool, like making really cool impactful choices. Oh, I'm so jealous. I want to do that too.
And like we did a workshop for Animation Mentor where two of the lead animators did basically showed off the development for the wild robot.
Yeah.
And they showed us how they like did the rigging for the goose wings, and it was so like, I think he said like 40 plus controls just for the wings.
Yeah.
And that they pre-animated like tucking the wings inside, and how technical it was to like animate that. And like it was so cool. He showed it like flapping out and flapping in, and they like baked the animation for the tucking in and made it like a blend shape, so that like they didn't have to animate that every single time.
Yes, it was so happening cool so many times that they were like, oh, we're just gonna pre-make all this stuff. Like the director, like the lead animators, they prepared so much for the animators so that it made this movie, like the process of making this movie, faster. And I'm like, yeah. And that's amazing. That's perfect. That's a real director right there, making sure that the flow of everything happened in a way that made sense, and there was not a lot of like hiccups on like the small tedious stuff. Like get those things out the way.
Exactly. And it was they went through so much development, and they told us they're like, we used every single minute of pre-development so that when we get into animating, it would go smoothly, because they had so many shots with like so many animals in one screen.
That's facts.
It was amazing.
It was so cool.
I think I'm done with my key poses. So I'm gonna go into my in-betweens now.
When you said that, I was like, what do you mean done? Like done with everything? Holy shit.
No.
Why didn't you warn me? I would have sped up.
No. Honestly, I think I'm gonna like pre-time these. I'm gonna time these. I'm gonna move the keyframes so like they can be timed accurately, and then I'll go into extremes, and then contact. Actually, no, I'll do contact poses. No, the key poses are kind of contact, so.
Yeah, no, you're really doing this perfectly technical. I'm just raw dogging this shit. I'm just going about it.
I just want to know what to do next, and
there's that's the right choice. I mean,
it's not necessarily a right choice though.
Well, I mean, we've just never animated with like a deadline, like something that's like we have to finish within a certain amount of time. So I just thought tackling it like I'm just gonna do whatever would be better, but it's really not.
Yeah, no, I think like even because like straight ahead is a workflow. Like if you don't want to like pre-plan your poses, like, and you just want to do it as you go, that's still a very intentional approach. You still need to think like, all right, does this look good? Is this pose working? All right, let's do it. Like, I kind of want to do this next. Like, you still need to think, bro.
That's true. I know.
I wanted to talk about this video I sent you. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh, I didn't.
It was basically a video about like, oh, are you struggling with improving your art? Because I also want to talk about something else. I wanted to send you a picture. Oh, I didn't send it to you yet. But it's basically a graph. And it's like we
can pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, I can pull it up on the screen. And it was basically a graph on like, oh, improving art. And I've seen this a lot of times before. Where it was like, oh, the graph starts off like this. You start like, oh, hey, my art is improving. and then there's a huge dip, and it's like, oh my god, I suck. What the hell is happening? And then you go back up, like, what was that? All right. And then you're like, oh, my art's improving. And then it's just a repeat of that cycle where like you're improving, and then you go straight down, you suck, you've never done art before. Then you go back up, you're like, oh, my art is better now. And I sent it on Discord because I saw this and I wanted to talk about it because I feel this way about especially drawing. Like when I take a break or like when I just stop because I'm like frustrated, when I come back, I'm like, oh, suddenly I know how to do art. But then when I'm like continuously trying to do art, like actually practicing, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know.
100%. It's like, oh man, there's some things that like you're automatic, or it's like, oh, I know how to do this, and it's like you're going back into this automatic mode you were in where you just happen to know these things, and it's in those moments where you recognize like, oh wow, I can't believe I know how to just do this like on my own, and then you get hit with the wall of what you don't know, and then it's like, I know nothing, I am garbage.
I know nothing. Like, and it's like, I think that's what's interesting about this graph is like, it's a very universal experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I always try to, and exactly. But like specifically for art, like a lot of the times I feel like, man, why am I like this? Why can't I just like know what to do? And then why can't I improve? Because I always thought improvement was like a slope, you go upwards. But it really is a staircase. You will hit walls, and then it will be so frustrating and you will lose confidence. And it feels like, man, I don't think I have the talent or skill to do this anymore. Like, I don't know. But that consistency will always break that wall, and just sticking with it, you will improve. And like, that's why I wanted to talk about that graph, because then I also saw a video, and it was a girl, basically, I'll link it too, because it was a good video. And it was basically, she was like, oh yeah, they always tell you just to draw and to animate to get better. And she's like, that's true. But if you don't know specifically, like specific exercises that will help you improve, like the specific skills that need to be improved, you're gonna take longer. And that's why it's frustrating. And in the video, she went through at least 10 exercises where you need to practice these things to get better at art. And her first exercise was just lines, like basically line quality, and it was just like you're just drawing lines on a paper, or you can do it digitally, and it's basically practicing pressure. And like you draw lines, you try to draw lines.
I need
dark.
that. I really don't do that. I don't do that at all. I don't think I've ever actually practiced my line work ever. It's like, and it's like you think it's not that important, but it's something that is. Like when someone makes some like line art and it's like beautiful lines, like lines with so much intention, like skinnier in some parts, thicker in others, a specific style of lining, I'm like, holy shit.
It's a very specific skill, and it's like, it's important to like be able, because like, again, it's about control, it's about intention. And if you don't have an intentional approach to how you draw your lines, and also because what was interesting, she was like also talking about the direction of the line, and she was like, oh, if you're specifically drawing like hair, for example, your lines need to follow like the path of where the hair would naturally like weigh down. And like especially when you're drawing, like every direction of the stroke should be in a flow and follow an arrow.
Oh.
And it shouldn't just be like just scratching whatever. Like it shouldn't be that way. It needs to be very intentional. And she also said like using your whole arm, which you do learn with figure drawing. Like they always say like use your whole arm, don't use your wrist. And I'm like, fuck.
Bro,
I always just use my wrist.
Yeah.
I always do that.
Bro, they even say that for gaming, like not to be weird, like they like because like if you're like aiming, right? Like you're playing a shooting game and you're like aiming, like if you're only using your wrist, first off, is bad for your wrist anyway, because people game for like 7 or 8 hours at a time for some reason. If you use your whole arm, you have more control, and it's really, really hard to do, to like keep your kind of like your wrist kind of like elevated so that you can use your whole arm, because your instinct is to just rest it. But it's better. It's like it's easier to like you have more control, because I feel like when you just use your wrist, it can get a little out of control sometimes. So
yep, exactly. And that's what she talked about with the exercises for like practicing line weight. Like use your whole arm and practice just like for 10 minutes, just draw lines and like try to practice the quality. Another exercise was like practicing tone, where if you've ever seen those videos of like a sphere or a tube or a cylinder, and you're trying to draw like the shadows of like how the light would hit that 3D object and trying to get the realism of how the light would hit it, and practicing those things in any medium, of course digital, you can do it on paper, traditional, and practicing just doing those, a bunch of them. Practice drawing the tones of a square, of a sphere, of a cylinder, and doing those exercises will help you learn like and immediately think about, how is the light hitting this drawing that I'm making? How is the light gonna hit this form? Because that is what's gonna help you make the art look more realistic and feel more real and less flat.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Another one that I really need to practice because I'm bad at coloring was, she was saying like, find the reference, color pick whatever palette that the art has, and then you're gonna try to like do the same palette and pick based on like what you think would be like a different like let's say tone, like let's say to see that color palette and the drawing is like set in the day. You try to take that same color palette and make it so that it would be like a nighttime drawing, and try to use those same colors but make the tone different so that it would look like it's night. And that's how you would get better at picking colors and coloring and picking a palette that makes sense. And like that's how you can study it, because I'm like, oh, every time they're like, oh, just study other people's art, but I don't know how to study other people's art. And so she went through how to like actually like, you do that for color palettes, for like if you want to like specifically study a piece of art, pick a very small section of it. And she said her reasoning was like, oh, if you pick a small section of it, one, you're not focused on copying the whole thing, you're really focused on specifically a small section. So you ask specific questions about, all right, why is the form this way? Why is the stretch the way it does? Why is the color this way? And then you're more focused on the technique rather than the whole thing and trying to copy it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a great video about like just exercises in general, and like when you try to like study and like practice and learn, you're really intentional with what you're trying to actually study. Like when you're studying, you're actually studying. And like I always struggle with like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, and also like I don't know why that I also again feel that stubbornness of like, well, if I'm like I'm awesome, I should just like start it and then I'll learn as I go. Like I don't know why my mind is like practicing or like preparing beforehand is somehow loser shit. Who knows why my brain would think that stupid shit.
Damn, loser.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to set up things. I could just figure it out. I could do it. I don't know. My brain will automatically like do that, and then I'm like, no, planning things ahead of time is so much better.
It is so much better, and it's just, it makes sense too when you're, because like again, the whole thing of like, I'll figure it out. It's like, all right, but then what are you figuring out? Exactly. Can you explain to me what you're figuring out? Like, what do you mean when you say those things? And like, that's what I try to tell myself, that, because then it's like, if I can't answer myself, I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to like actually plan.
Yep.
And like, that will prompt you to like, be like, all right, I don't know what I want to do. And actually identify, you know, what do you want to do with this piece? You know, is this the whole thing? Is this like what is the intention? What are the themes, you know?
Bro, I don't know why my brain's like, that's loser shit. You should already know that.
No, like how though? How
exactly.
Would you already have known?
I don't know. But my brain's just like, well, you just should. And that's that, on that. And I'm like, all right, brain. All right. I really want to get better at digital art and like being able to draw. Like I saw the other day, someone posted like their study, and they were doing like shoes, like men's shoes and the men's socks. And it was just that, and it was fully rendered, and it was gorgeous, like, you know, like the shininess of like a like men's shoes and the pattern of the sock with like the little bit of the pants, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like she drew this digitally, and I really want to get into digital art and be able to like know how to render, because I really like coloring. I'm not good at rendering and coloring, But I like coloring. I think it's fun. I think it's mesmerizing to like be in the motion of coloring. Because again, it's the same animation. It's like figuring it out. And when I'm coloring, it's like I'm figuring out how it's supposed to look. And I really like that. I really enjoy it. So I really want to get into digital art and even physical painting. Like I have always, like when we were in high school and we had art class, like our art class would be like, oh, you could pick whatever paint medium you want. We're going to do a painting based off this. And I loved doing that. I loved painting and like figuring it out. Like I really liked oil painting specifically because oil paints takes forever to dry. And because it takes forever to dry, you can fix mistakes and take your time. I needed that time. Like acrylics is too fast drying. And I just needed more time because a lot of the figuring out, I take a lot of time to, you know, figure out what I want or how it looks because I just don't have the skills to fully understand how things are supposed to be. So I love oil paints. I don't really think I learned that much about how to use oil paints in other painting mediums. But what I did learn, I really enjoyed. So I'd really love to like, you know, just get back into physical painting and figuring out how to properly, like, you know, people like have like the whole painting palette and they like mix colors beforehand and all that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that. Or like they do preparation of the canvas. I don't know how to do any. I don't know. I don't even know why they do that stuff. And I'd really like to know because I think it's cool.
When it comes to like art, like I feel like I just don't think enough. I'm not like thinking like enough about like what I want to get done.
Yeah, I agree. It's like my mind goes into automatics. Again, my instinct is to assume that what I'm doing is right instead of checking. Like,
Yeah.
It's not even like that I think that I'm better or anything. My instinct is like, yeah, this must be right. Like I don't like have the instinct for some reason to like make sure and double check. Like my instinct is to be like, oh no, that's right. That's right. I was like, bro, is it though? Is it?
Yeah, that's why I want to be like, are you sure? Like, how do you know that? Like, and then it's like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, all right, now you sound like a dumbass. All right, figure it out.
We're in the everything's breaking and fucking up phase.
Yeah, you know, the phase where you're like, I was doing great. Now I'm not.
Yeah, we were just...
Now everything fucking sucks. Like, what the fuck is that? You know when in the graph editor, like, you do a key and it, like, basically does another key on the same frame number?
Huh?
Yeah. It's really fucking annoying. It basically... I didn't even know it was possible, but somehow I know how to do it. Fucking asshole. But basically, I do a key, and as I'm moving to just that same key, instead of, like, just updating the key that I had already made, it makes a second key on the same frame number. So then it just fucking breaks. And I have.
What
and
do
then
you mean?
have to,
how is it doing that? That shouldn't be how it works. It should be moving the key that you already made. It shouldn't be.
All right. The next time it happens, I'm gonna screenshot it so that you can see.
Yeah.
Imagine you're on frame. Let's say you're on frame 115. You have a key. You have a second key on
top
that
of
same
that frame.
Yeah. But it's on a different position.
Yeah,
so like the graph, it's like it basically
there's
stutters.
There's two frames on the key. I've only done that when I've accidentally like moved keys and I moved the key on top of the same key, and that's the only way I've ever done that. How the fuck are you how is it doing it for you?
No, oh look, it just did it right now. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
Bro, you gotta fix something. That's wrong. Maybe you should restart Maya again because that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You might have to restart her again because that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, it's just Maya fucking breaking, you know? You know when Maya just fucking breaks?
I really wish I made at least a button of like I select all the keys that I'm using. At least that.
I told you. That's what I mean. Like I told you.
Why did I do that? Why didn't we set ourselves up for greatness?
Because we hate doing that.
God damn it.
We hate setting ourselves up for greatness. We hate it. It's our worst thing. We hate being successful. Swear to God.
I'm like, I'll figure it out. Here I am.
I got this.
Fucking
I'll just click it.
I'll just click every single one.
As if that's not the most annoying fucking thing to do. Like, what's wrong with me? I'll just click it.
We got 30 more minutes on the clock. We're approaching game day, approaching the timeline. How are we feeling?
Not that great.
Why not that great? Come on.
Because I'm not even where I want to be, and it's like fucking Maya's breaking, and I'm also like not trying to blame only Maya. I'm just not working fast enough. You know how it is. You know what? Rotate it like this. Peanut butter jelly the long way. Peanut butter jelly the long way.
What is that? What the fuck are you saying?
You never seen that video?
No, what are we talking about?
Peanut butter jelly the long way?
The long way.
The long way. Yo, I have to show you that video.
Is it like on a hot dog bun?
No, it's literally it's peanut butter jelly the long way is putting both sandwich breads on its side and putting the peanut butter jelly on where the crust would be, and
what?
then putting the bread,
Ew.
bread like crust to crust, like.
Ugh.
And then you like vertical, like imagine those.
I don't like that.
But like not squished together, like horizontally stacked on top of each other.
Okay, guys, so the challenge is finished. Our time's up. I think we spent like 4 hours. I think we spent longer than we thought. I think we started around 2, and it's like almost 5:30 now. So
that's not. Oh well, yeah. Well, that doesn't count. I think we stopped at exactly 5, so I would say 3 hours.
Yeah. So like roughly like 3 or 4 hours we spent animating, doing our little challenge. Now we're gonna present what we managed to do. I'm just gonna talk about mine for a little bit before we look at it, or should we look at it first?
I mean, you can talk about it. How many frames is it?
Mine ended up being like 143 frames. I see here that's around 6 seconds. I think I didn't get. I think it's mostly okay. I don't think the camera movement for the fly is that realistic to me. Like it doesn't. I don't know if it's giving fly that much. And I didn't get to do. I think the character's motion, it was okay, very basic, very rudimentary. I forgot to get any assets for like plates and cups because I didn't want to do constraints. So she's just doing like the motion of washing something and not actually washing anything.
Okay.
So I did try to make that seem kind of realistic, but she is not holding anything. So
okay, let's just watch it and then we can talk more about it.
Okay, cool. And play.
Oh, okay. I don't think it's horrible. It definitely is like a little jittery. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, the little hit looks good. I'm gonna keep playing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it on loop.
Yeah, I'll keep it on a loop for a little bit. So yeah, like I think her motion overall is like okay. Like I feel like it reads that she's doing something well. I think I definitely spent too much time trying to get like her shifting her weight with her feet, but like you barely even see it. So why did I spend all that time doing that?
Yeah, I definitely think that her washing dishes is very like accurate. Yeah, like the little like putting it down, putting it up. That was really good.
Yay.
And I think the hit is really, really good. Like it's very clear. The fly movement is a little more teeter-tottery instead of like bug-like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the general premise, like you understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I like I think the character movement is good. Like just like it kind of looks like a video game. Like,
it does look like a video game, right?
yeah. I feel like I don't know. I like the lighting you did. Looks good.
Oh yeah, thanks. I just did basic freaking lighting. I didn't even put a wall in front of her because I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's fine.
I
honestly think I like the pose of like her one leg being bent, one not.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's really, really good.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I was managed to do. I'm actually pretty happy I managed to finish it and it looks somewhat decent. So yeah,
I like it.
Yay, thank you.
I think it's good. I think you got the prompt really well. Definitely better than mine. Like mine's not that great.
Has my character been crying this whole time? Hold on. No way. I didn't No. My character's had a sad face this whole time. No.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry guys. I'm still into VTubing, still like trying to get used to everything, so I apologize. Okay, so mine seems pretty good. Let's take a look at yours now. Do you want to talk about it a little bit before we start?
Yeah, so mine was the falling one. Mine ended up being like 130 frames, so it's like 5 seconds. And I just really struggled with the falling off the bed part, I couldn't get the pose like correct, and like how, and I feel like I struggled with like what I think I should have done was did the motion of the fall with the main control first and then move the torso and the hip, because that's where I struggled. I started moving the torso and the hip to make the pose of the fall, and that wasn't good because when I moved the main control, then the hip and the torso would be in different positions, and I was basically counter animating the whole time.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I was doing it
Yep.
until the end, where I was like, I've been like fucking wasting time. And I felt like in like the first half of the when we were recording, you'll probably see like it looked so much better before because I wasn't counter animating at that point, but then the counter animating of the main control and the hip control was my downfall, and so it's not that great. So let's just look at it. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, click play. I also did it in low resolution.
It's not that bad. I feel like you were gassing it. It's not that bad. I mean, she definitely does clip through this bed. But I think her like looking, like it reads well. Like I think it looks like she's looking for something. I think she shouldn't have looked up. She should have stayed kind of looking more towards the ground. Cause like, why would she look towards the wall? I feel like she would have turned towards the bed, or if it wasn't on the stand.
Yeah, I think I was also like just wanted to do a different movement, and I wasn't paying attention because I was just focusing on the fall. Like I deleted so many frames. Like it looked way worse. I deleted a lot of frames. I also was struggling with like the IK, FK like of the arm. I felt like I was in IK or whatever, the one where the elbow moves, and it just wasn't staying in place, and things just weren't again, my main fall was I didn't animate first with just the main control, because that's where the main movements were, because the leaning over the bed and then the falling I did with the main control, because I like that's like the whole body moving, and I know those were whole body movements, and I just didn't solidify those things first until then. Every single time I moved the hips, the legs moved, and then the legs moved like in a wrong way, and then I also struggled with the knees of my model because I didn't realize I wasn't in like IK or whatever, the FK one.
Yeah.
And then like they kept moving, and and then I also struggled with like the bend of the fall and like trying to get like the coils not to be so separated.
Yeah, I think you've stressed about that a little too much, because it was good to be coily no matter what, because unless it was all together, it was good. Any kind of bend is a kind of stretch, and this model made it so that the polygons aren't going to be stretching because it's really like basic. That's why there was like space between it, and you just had to like get over it. But we've never really used a rig like this before.
Yeah, and like I know in Animation Mentor they had a proxy version of the rigs, but I never used them, and I really should. It's
good for basic animation, like just the basics.
Yeah, and like I also struggled with like the initial reach to then the fall, because it doesn't really look like she like went to reach and then she like slipped.
Yeah, it just looks like it went straight into a fall.
It just looked like she just straight into a fall. So a lot of struggles with this one. I definitely think the main issue was it wasn't what I need to do more often is take it one at a time.
Yeah.
And, like they always say in Animation Mentor, start with the main control and then the hips and then the torso. Yeah,
like
I did it all in one go, and that was my issue. Like I should not have done that at all. I definitely think my foundation wasn't solid, and I realized now what I could do better for the next one.
Yeah, and you know what? This was our first video for this. Like we're gonna do so many more, and honestly it was pretty good and it was fun. Like I had a good time. I never just do small practices. I don't know why. The second I go to animate, I'm like, I'm gonna find some reference, and the reference is some big large thing that would be like a big project. I don't know why I can never do small little projects. Like my mind is just like, I want more audio, more visuals. I want to do like something that's 30 seconds long, and that's like not the best way to practice. It's good to do short little things, and I think we both did a really, really good job. Like I like both our shots. I think we did a great job trying it, and learned a lot, clearly, like we discussed it. So thank you guys all for watching. Let us know what you thought of both our shots, and if you have any critiques, hey, let us know. I like listening to people's thoughts, so definitely share with us what you think. Hopefully this video wasn't too boring of us just animating. I know watching animation, like people doing animation, isn't the most interesting. It's kind of mundane. But hopefully we made it fun, and thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
Check out our next video. All right, bye guys.
Bye.